Hey pros, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA, Elite Total Body Care, private label hair care company, and CW Online. So today we are doing a weaving service on my client who doesn't necessarily have alopecia, but she's dealing with a situation where stress and along with a couple other things has been breaking off in her crown and creating a bigger situation for her. So today we're going to basically do an entire revamp on her where we are going to be cutting down the sides and the back. Basically she wears a pixie cut, so we're going to just kind of give her a little bit longer of a pixie cut versus what she's normally used to cover that crown and give her hair a chance to just relax, without her not having any form of style or without her struggling with keeping it as it is right now. So I did taper down the sides and the back a little bit using the Babyless clippers. These clippers are available in my Amazon store for those of you who are always asking where you can get them from. And then I am applying her relaxer around the sides and the back of her head. Now, do as I say and not as I do. I am applying the relaxer with my hands to cover more ground, number one. And number two, it allows me to move a lot faster for my clients who have very short hair just like hers, so that processing can start right away, because with shortcuts, you need to get as much processing time as you can to allow that hair to lay down really, really nicely, especially when you're going to be blending it in with extensions. So once the relaxer processed, we went ahead and went into the color phase, which I'm using a custom burgundy that I created for her, using Joico semi-permanent colors. Now, this is not a permanent color. This is a semi-permanent color because we are doing this on relaxed hair, and I do not recommend doing any form of demi or permanent color on hair that is relaxed unless it is for other purposes like lightening or anything of that nature. Once I applied this color, she went and sat with it for about 25 minutes with a processing cap. Hair color is also something, you guys, that you don't want to play with, especially if you have a chemical service such as a relaxer or anything else that required you to use any form of chemical. And when I say chemical, things like lighteners, relaxers, straighteners, that kind of thing. Now, I always tell you guys, if you are applying your colors at home, to ensure that you're using a bowl and brush for optimal coverage or complete coverage, as well as having a neat application. Neat application will ensure that you're taking your time. That's number one. Number two, that you're saturating completely. And number three, that you don't have color in the wrong places. As you guys can tell, this is a burgundy color. Burgundy color on lighter brown skin creates a stain, and she does not want to walk around looking like I sprayed her with burgundy spray paint and just left it there. Okay? So just remember that with your hair color. Now, another pro tip that I use with her is I did put a processing cap on her, which most of the time when I'm doing semi-permanent colors, I do it without a processing cap. The reason for the processing cap is because she is salt and pepper, and I wanted to ensure that the color itself was able to break the barrier of very coarse, sometimes resistant, gray textured hair. Now, she did already get all her layers of protection, which in her case, we did 3 layers. And now I'm just applying the extensions to the crown of her head. One thing that I will say, and a big pro tip, is I split my weft on my tracks to make the tracks nice and slim, as though it was natural hair. Now remember, you guys, this is not her hair. So I am blending this hair to match her hair. And I know people get this conception that, oh, it just needs to look super natural, like I don't even have anything in my head, which is very, very true. But remember, no matter how supernatural I want this to look, this is not your hair. So blending is really key when you're dealing with extensions, and you do also want to make sure that you're not doing too many blunt cuts, which is the reason why I like to use a razor rather than a pair of shears to blend in my alopecia weaves. Sometimes you will see me take my shears out, but I have just kind of adapted the way of using the razor and then going back and cleaning up the cut with my shears. Now, all of the tools that you guys see me use outside of my flat irons are available in the Amazon store, because some of these products are not mine in regards to the tools. Now, anything that's product wise, let's say the silicone cap that I use, all of that is also in my Amazon store. I do not make a silicone protectant, you guys. I am hair care, and hair care. Now, to go back through and just kind of thin out the hair and to blend it a little bit more, I'm also using my thinning shears. A lot of stylists kind of get away from the thinning shears because they're afraid of them. But on weaves, thinning shears are awesome. Now, to mold her down, I am using our Elite Silk wrap foam around the sides and the back. I don't necessarily always use it on the top, but if I see that the hair is just kind of a little too straight for my liking, then I will apply some Elite Silk wrap foam to the top as well. But you do want to make sure that you're not oversaturating it with foam, because remember, these are tracks that are held on by latex or non-latex glue that is water soluble. So too much moisture will now make the life of the extension service slightly shorter than if you did not apply any type of wet product to it at the beginning. So she's going to go under the dryer. She will dry, and then we will go ahead and curl her. Why I like to mold my clients is because this also helps with the blending to make it appear like it's her hair and not just some very bulky extensions sitting off the sides and top of her head. So blending in regards to an alopecia service also includes when I'm blending the extensions by using wrap foam to melt it with her hair. And when I say melt, I mean that very loosely when I say melt. So as you guys can tell, it did leave the hair nice and smooth like it was hers. It also left her hair nice and smooth around the sides and the back, because remember, the crown is the only thing that we covered, not the sides, not the back of her head. So we want to make sure that our blending is on point, and we do want to make sure that everything lays as if we had just molded her hair on a regular day. Now, I just sprayed a little bit of Goddess polish on the hair. With the Goddess polish and extensions, you want to be very careful. And I have to say this in the right way. You spray too much, extensions get greasy, and then they begin to get very separated because they're so oily. And remember, this is not your hair. This is artificial hair, no matter if it's human or not. Now, the iron that I'm using to curl her is our 3/10 of an inch ceramic iron, which is the black diamond iron. You guys also know this as the pencil iron. This is my go-to iron for shortcuts. This iron is available on my website at elitehaircareusa.com. And then I switched over to the 7/10 iron, which I don't offer that on the site currently. We will soon. But the 7/10 is kind of the halfway between the 3/10 and a 1-inch flat iron. So this is for people who have like medium short or medium length hair. I just made that up. It's medium length hair, because you don't need the 1-inch, but you don't necessarily need a 3/10 of an inch. So that's the reason why I'm using this iron. But this can also be curled with the 1-inch iron. It's long enough to do so. I just chose to use the 7/10. Now I'm going to let you guys watch the style unfold. Please don't forget to comment. Tell me what you guys think at the end, which I'll remind you, of course, at the end of the video for our wrap up. Also, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the Elite Pro tribe. And thank you to my YouTube members who have joined our subscription service and become a YouTube member to help support our channel and keep our channel going. So now that she's all curled up, I am just going through and using the razor to thin down the areas that were kind of bulky or had a little too much volume. Now she typically will get a very short pixie cut, but her molds or her units have been lasting a lot longer, so that's the reason why I decided to do it slightly longer this time around versus doing it super short, because of course the older it gets, the more they begin to lift, and then it starts to expose the part or the demarcation between the extension and her hair. Now you guys comment down below, tell me what you guys thought about the finished style. Also watch to the end of the video for my first time YouTubers, where you'll get a discount for 30% off all of our products. And of course, any of the tools that you guys saw, you're also welcome to go to my Amazon store, where you're able to have access to those tools and products. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks again for watching.